CFR Network, CFR News, CFR Sports. Thank you all for taking the time. Yeah, no, to listen to this here for the continued sort of supports for the downloads, yeah, for the shares, the likes, the comments, all of that good stuff. The support from the main support. Let's break this down. The main support podcast wise, I'm going to move on to the older visuals, the old boob tube. But podcast wise, main support USA, so much appreciated. We'll continue to put out content. You see the title, The Future of CFR Network. What's going on? What it do? Well, what it do is I'm getting awfully busy. I don't think people appreciate the length of time it takes out of the mere 24 hours we have, allegedly, in a day. Operating multiple businesses, which are being extremely busy as of late. It's challenging to say the least. So I think moving forward, there are going to be some changes that are going to be trustfully not too visible, but there are definitely going to be some changes. So yes, um, podcast wise, that's what I was on. That's what I was on. I'm going back and forth from all over the place. Um, the island which I am in, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Mexico, Germany, New Zealand, France, Ireland, um, and then we go to Asia, Philippines, Myanmar, Taiwan, and we're going down in numbers in this respect. Podcast wise, I recommend everybody, as I've said this before. We got new listeners and stuff. Podcast Addict is the one for all of your podcasts. The platform, the app has definitely advanced since the early days of having it. That seems to bring forth a lot more. So I've definitely got some of the old crowd with me who utilize Podcast Addict. Apple, strangely enough, I don't utilize any Apple products, but Apple Podcast seems to be this number two. Spotify is number three. Now I do get, questions from time to time, and I thought, we're wrapping up Gregorian year 2022. I wanted to do something more specific in regards to, because the questions I get asked. I thought let's do a little mini build and let's talk the talk of sorts. I mean, I will leave names out because I don't get down like that unless people calling my name. So, questions, questions, questions. The top question I get asked, especially for CFR News, is Noble. How on earth do you get all of these varied guests? And then if they're in the UK, they'll say also as like a part B, a part A to the question would be, and you seem to have a lot of American, like an international guest, and not so much of a UK guest presence. Now I'll answer that in reverse. I could be like, I could be like the the lower chakra channels, should we say? The clickbaity stuff. Oh, and that's another thing. Oh, no, 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 I won't get into that. I won't get into that. Let's do it in order. Let's do it in order. Just a load of quote unquote pasa pasa, as them say. Pure just shaggery and just chaos and confusion. But it seems that's what y'all want to have. Hmm? It seems like the folly is what everybody wants to partake in. If they don't want to partake in it, they want to peep it and listen to it and share it around and all that stupid stuff. So I refrain on these two channels and specifically CFR News. I refrain from all of that. You know, we don't want to get into that kind of stuff. But it seems that's exactly what you want because on the biggest channel I have, and I haven't, and I will say I haven't uploaded to that channel in at least 3 years, I think. Possibly, maybe even longer. And the numbers of subscribers and the views, I would say, gosh, I haven't checked up recently, but I would say it triples the views of all of the platforms I'm on. And I'm just talking about specifically BoobTube, aka YouTube, for the all who don't know, the old slanguage. And it just highlights that, as I say, that stupidness is what everybody wants to get into. And I thought I'm gonna take a pause from doing all, doing the more lower chakra stuff with a little bit of, you know, edutainment in there. But y'all just love it, man. You're eating it up. So because I'm in Brum, I'm in the UK, you know, I got links to certain people. We have conversations, whether it be in a physical form or whether it be in those DMs, because as it said, it go down in the DM. And we have conversations. We sometimes even have telephone conversations, video calls, all them something there. And plans are made, and words. And listen to this one. Word indeed should be your bond, right? So I get pure talk. Yeah, man. I'm down like 4 flat tires to come on and talk the thing. Schedule time out. Always professionalism here. No half stepping, no folly, no recording folk as soon as they get on and they're connected. I never do nothing crazy like that. But some content creators do exactly that and record telephone calls, and video calls and all that kind of stuff without you even knowing. Okay. So as I say, many attempts have been made. I've reached out to a plethora of people. Yeah, so the ones who are DMing me say, no, you should get this person on. I should get that person on. This person seems like they got a good story. You could have a good conversation. I would say 90% of the people that you're thinking of, I've reached out to already. Okay. And should we even go into the percentage? No, I won't go into the percentage. But the reason why you don't see them on the old CFR, the old culture, freedom, and righteousness, north, east, west, and south, is because they don't want to have a real conversation. They want the folly talk. Now, if I approach them on the biggest channel, a different talk, yeah, man. I'm gonna be doing all kind of madness on the thing and this and that. And so people, you have to you have to know, you have to be aware, you have to understand, and understand that people don't want to have real conversations these days. If someone blessed the broadcast to come on and talk their talk and their story, and drop the jewels, that's because they're prepared to have the real conversation. These other people, they're half stepping, they're living vicariously through some other kind of means, and they got all kind of personas going on, and they don't want to break persona. They don't want to be real with y'all. That's what the issue is. And then another thing, here's another one. And I'll give a percentage on this one. I would say 25%. Now, I don't know about, again, I know these other folk, these I don't even know what would be the best way to describe these type of platforms who just talk the shegri. I don't know. Them kind of people, them, yeah, who will clearly who have a lot larger platform than the CFR News. They will pay folk, okay, to come on and have a conversation. Yeah. I have never in my life done that. But as I say, and you're most entitled to do what you do because, within a professional setting, etc., if we're talking something, 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 then, time is money, etc. So some people do only do interviews if they're paid, and I get it. And I like people to be upfront, but I don't pay for no interview. What integrity would be left if I'm paying for an interview? If I'm paying for an interview, I want whatever I want from this interview, then, right? Is that going to be a natural and organic conversation? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. It's um it's preposterous, to say the least. And it's very disheartening at times. Let's go into that. Let's go into that. So then you will be surprised of the conversations I have. Obviously not recorded, because again, I ain't no weirdo. But then you know, depending on, the kind of vibe I'm getting, we will converse via, telephone, etc. And some strange folk, and based upon the persona that they have, and the lifestyle that they profess, you'd think that, everything is everything, and it's all good on their side. But yet, I have had at least, let me think now. I don't think more than one hand of so-called celebrities ask me for money. Huh? And I'm not talking about celebrities in United Kingdom. I'm talking about celebrities in the wilderness of North America, aka the United States of America. Very, very interesting. Doing what I do, and speaking to the people I speak to, you really get a real good understanding and understanding of like how it is, you know, because all you get to see is like the finished product. You don't. You might see like you might sit down in a lecture and just see them lecturing. You don't see what goes on before they've got to the lecture and all that there. It's a very privileged position. Sometimes it can, it can destroy your idea of how people are outside of what you've seen finished product wise. But yeah, it's all wonderful. It's all good. Uh let's go on to the analytics for the old boob tube. Now, this is where the news is coming. I am going to be reducing the amount of content that's going to be made for CFR news. Now, reason being is because it's all in the numbers. It's all within the numbers. Let's go to it. Audience. Let's go to the audience. Now, again, United States is killing it. Highest number of views geographically, and this is generally always the same. They give you like within 28 days or within a month period. So we got States, United Kingdom, India. That's just jumped in there in the last I think month and a half or so. Australia, which is always up there, and Canada. They're the top regions on the CFR news. And strangely enough, it's mainly a male-oriented channel. I do try and cater for some women as well, if having all the feminine energy on there and stuff. Watch time, subscribers are way down, man. So I've got obviously I need to get my subscribers up. So if you listen to this, make sure you go over to the boob tube, the YouTube, and subscribe, bell, and all that kind of good stuff, because it's looking like a huge percentage of my watch time is from non-subscribers, 80 plus percent, which is just out of this world. It's crazy. That's crazy statistics, if I can get it out. But talking to other content creators, they have a very similar sort of thing, depending on what their genre is of sorts. And they're going over to the CFR Sports, which I am going to be concentrating on for 2023 in a lot more detail, because I am seeing a lot more growth on this in the channel on the BoobTube. So, as a result, as I said, there's going to be a lot more stuff gonna be going on there. I've expanded and done a lot more coverage in regards to um the events themselves, and obviously some of the back office stuff, etc., etc. And you clearly like that. So, I mean, I started just doing the interviews and stuff, but it seems you combat sports connoisseurs enjoy the old conversation reference, the other bits and pieces. So, as I say, more focused on that. And here's the shocker. Here is the kicker. There's the kicker. And this has changed, but the Philippines seems to be the highest consumer of CFR sports. Then the States, then Burma, Myanmar, Thailand, and Vietnam. So my CFR sports channel has a large presence in Asia. I'm And I think I understand why, because I do focus a lot on one championship. Um, as unfortunately I think they're very late to the dance. They're very late to it. I mean, everyone's saying how good the content is and how good the events are, but no one's really covering it of sorts. And I think that's where I'm pulling away in regards to that region. So I can't even remember. Ni hao, namaste, and there's some other. So I'm gonna start to learn some of the greetings, some of the other greetings and stuff. But yeah, that's it, man. That is the analytics. That's the path. Um, there were some other questions, but yeah, let's go into that one. So I get loads of. I think this would be the second biggest kind of it's like a kind of rhetorical question. Like your content is really good. I can't understand why your subscribers on YouTube are so low and why you haven't, like a viral sensation kind of thing. I can answer the first one. First one is I was shadow banned for a very long period of time on YouTube until I think mid this year, I think it was. And then they took the shadow ban off. And that's because of obviously and this is now jumping back to the CFR news. I've had to be a little bit more creative and not put out certain content on said YouTube channel um, to stop that and enable the algorithms. So I think this is a good opportunity to say make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you haven't, share, comments are much appreciated. We need some of that engagement. I like it. And yeah, the throttle's been let off. Algorithm's now working. So we're going to see what it do, man. We're going to see what it do. A lot of financial investment has been made in regards to, as you can see, comments below if you can see the change in regards to the works being produced, the finished products. Because I was going real rudimentary in old school initially, because the desktop has died. Strangely enough, it's died. And I am planning to still keep that hard drive and use it as a secondary hard drive and just get another tower, build another tower and stuff. Because I'm old school like Shelto, Adidas, and these new editing apps, they're pretty straightforward and they're good. But I've got a nice little process with my old school dying. So yeah, the future's looking bright. The future's looking orange, as they say. But there's definitely some changes. We're still going to be doing the interviews, but we're going to be throttling down a little some on them. It all can change, you know. This is the people's broadcast. This is the people's network. So if I get them subscribers to actually view the thing, and we do see a change in regards to the analytics on the old boobage, then things indeed could change again. But also, it's the time. It's all the time. I think it's appropriate for me to make this executive decision at this point, because there's not enough hours in a day. One man army, remember, one man army. I do this year. And there's a lot going on. Make sure you go over to Supreme of the UK on Instagram. Main sponsor, only sponsor, I'll say actually. We don't want to be sponsors or promote any silly stuff. Betting. You'll never see a betting sponsorship on this network in its entirety. I don't care how much money they're looking to put down on this here. It says support. It's getting cold. It's minus like four, probably like -6 now at time of recording. So it's getting cold. Support, man. They got new beanies out. They got the jackets, the body warmers, gilets, all that there. CFR Sports. We got the tees, the tracksuits. I don't think there's any beanies yet, but support. Not asking for no donations. I ain't passing out that collection plate. I'm providing quality merchandise, not the stuff that you get on the websites and you put your template up. This is sourced directly from me. I know exactly what it do, premium quality. Um, yeah. So that I think that wraps it up, man. I've rambled on for a little bit. Um, Trust me, it's not going to be of too much of a shock. And as I say, like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Comments much appreciated. Should I indeed take these indeed steps, or should I concentrate more on the CFR news? The analytics don't tell me that, but I'm led by the people, man. So let your voices be heard.